How to best support your loved one regarding their quit date. What's a quit date? What's the point in setting a quit date in the first place? There's different ways to define a quit date. Your definition of a quit date can be different from that of your loved one who wants to quit smoking. It helps to discuss what a quit date means with your quitter because it'll factor into the support you provide. A quit date is generally defined as someone's very first day as an ex-smoker. It can be defined in other ways, which is something we'll delve into. It's important to note that it's up to your quitter if they want to set a quit date or not. It's a good idea to encourage your quitter to set one, but if they choose not to pick a quit date, that's their decision. You'll need to provide positive support to your quitter whether they set a target quit date or not. In this podcast, we'll discuss talking points you can communicate with your loved one regarding their quit date. Here's what will be covered. Number 1, the benefit for your quitter to set a quit date. Number 2, the role that preparation plays into quit dates. Number 3, why your quitter might not have any interest in setting a quit date. Number 4, quit dates and their relationship to quit smoking medications. Number 5, the importance of being smoke-free for as long as possible before discontinuing the use of quit smoking medications. And number 6, the flexibility in setting quit dates. The benefit of preparation work prior to the quit date. Encourage your quitter to give themselves a head start by cutting down on their smoking prior to the quit date. If your quitter is open to the idea of setting a quit date, great. Encourage your quitter to set a quit date that's not too far out into the future, but not too soon either. Setting the date within the next 30 days is ideal. The preparation work your quitter puts in leading up to their quit date matters. Initial changes your loved one makes to their smoking can make the transition to becoming an ex-smoker a lot smoother than if they didn't make any changes at all prior to their quit date. Taking small steps before the quit date can also help your quitter build some confidence. For example, if your quitter is able to reduce from 20 cigarettes per day down to 10 cigarettes per day during the preparation period, they'll feel pretty good about themselves and have more confidence going into their quit date. Preparation work can include more than just cutting down on the number of cigarettes smoked per day. Work in the preparation stage can also include behavior changes or mini-quits. For example, stopping smoking with the morning coffee could be a mini-quit that your loved one can focus on prior to their big quit date, which is the date that they work to go completely smoke-free. Share this podcast with your quitter if they need some help coming up with ideas to challenge their smoking habits during the preparation stage. Encourage your quitter to set preparation goals and ask how you can best provide support in the pursuit of those goals. Preparation work is a great way for your quitter to practice life without smoking, give themselves a head start, and help build confidence. The benefit of setting quit dates that hold significance to your quitter. The benefit in setting a specific quit date is that it can provide a helpful accountability tool for your loved one. The quit date can be just a random date on the calendar to quit smoking, but it can also be a date that holds significance to your loved one. If the quit date represents a meaningful date, encourage your quitter to circle it on their calendar and make preparation steps leading up to that date. Some examples of a meaningful quit date can include 1. Birthdays, whether it's their own birthday or that of a loved one's. Number 2. Death days, the anniversary of a day that a loved one passed away. Number 3. Relationship or wedding anniversaries. And number 4, holidays. If your quitter is interested in setting a meaningful quit date, encourage your quitter to mark the date on a calendar and consider announcing their special date to trusted people in their life. Setting a meaningful quit date can provide extra motivation for some quitters. If your quitter decides to quit smoking on their grandmother's birthday, who lost their life to a smoking-related illness, for example, there's special significance to that date. Maybe this special quit date is their way to honor their grandmother's memory. That day is etched in their memory and holds a special meaning to your quitter. They may not even have to circle it on the calendar because it's a day that means so much to them. This meaningful date can serve to strengthen your quitter's commitment to quitting smoking. Setting a quit date can help your quitter track their progress and smoke-free milestones. A quit date can also help if your quitter is interested in tracking how long they've gone smoke-free. If your loved one has an interest in rewarding themselves for smoke-free milestones, remembering their specific quit date can help guide the planning of those celebrations. For some quitters, rewards can play an important role in quitting smoking and serve as motivation to remain smoke-free. For example, if your loved one quit smoking on July 4th to represent their liberation from the tyranny of tobacco, once August 4th rolls around, they'll have 1 month smoke-free under their belt. That's a big accomplishment and worth celebrating with a nice dinner at Outback Steakhouse, Texas Roadhouse, or wherever their favorite restaurant is they enjoy eating. On their 90-day anniversary smoke-free, your quitter may decide to reward themselves with a new wardrobe. At their 1-year smoke-free anniversary, they've possibly saved up enough money to pay for an all-inclusive vacation trip to Cancun. Tracking smoke-free milestones can serve to reinforce your quitter's motivation to continue pushing forward as an ex-smoker. If your quitter is interested in setting a quit date in part to track their milestones, ask them what rewards they believe will be important to them throughout the process. When appropriate, take part in the celebration of your quitter's milestones. New Year's Day is a popular quit date for many quitters. Many quitters like to set New Year's Day as their quit date. It's a new year, and they're motivated to make a fresh start as a new and improved, smoke-free version of themselves. Plus, many other quitters are trying to quit smoking on New Year's Day as well, which makes it a shared experience. In my 10 years of experience working at the Quit Line, historically, this is one of our busiest times of the year. I'm not aware of any data that shows setting a New Year's Day quit date leads to more success than setting a personal quit date. If your quitter wants to pick New Year's Day as their quit date, great, but if not, that's okay too. Not all quitters see the value or point in setting a quit date. As a support person, it's important to find out what a quit date means to your quitter. Ask your quitter open-ended questions to see how this date factors into their quit plan. For some quitters, it's meaningful to have a target quit date to work towards, and for other quitters, not so much. Setting a target quit date isn't for everyone. You can encourage your quitter to consider setting a quit date, but don't pressure them into setting one. That's a line you want to be aware of and don't want to cross. Adding pressure on your loved one to set a specific date can be counterproductive, which is something to avoid. Your quitter's first day as an ex-smoker might just be another day on the calendar, and that's okay. There's a few reasons why your quitter might not be interested in setting a target quit date. Number 1, quit dates stress them out. Just the sheer thought of setting a quit date can fill your loved one with dread. Working towards a specific date makes them uncomfortable. The anticipation of a quit date approaching stresses them out. They're not sure if they can succeed or not, and the negative thoughts start to consume their mind. Just thinking about the fact they won't be smoking anymore on a certain day is scary. Their anxiety goes up in the days leading to their quit date, not down. Number 2, setting quit dates in the past didn't help. Maybe your quitter set multiple quit dates in the past and none of them worked out. They picked their son's birthday, their parents' anniversary, Christmas Day, a shared date with some coworkers from work, and each one of those quit dates didn't pan out. Prior to quitting smoking, they even made a big deal about their quit date. They made announcements to their loved ones on Facebook that this was the day they'd become an ex-smoker. When the date arrived, they experienced mixed results. Sometimes they got off to a good start and were able to quit, but only for a short period of time. They eventually threw in the towel and returned to smoking full-time. Not succeeding with these quit dates was very discouraging to themselves, as well as to their loved ones. Your quitter doesn't ever want to set themselves up for that kind of disappointment again. Number 3, your loved one prefers to quit on their own schedule. Many quitters simply want to quit at their own pace when it feels right. When the day arrives where they know in their gut it's time to stop smoking, that's the day they'll quit. There's no point in selecting that specific day in advance. One day your quitter will wake up in the morning and realize that it's their time to put down the cigarettes for good. They'll flush their last pack of cigarettes down the toilet, toss out their smoking paraphernalia, and do their best to attack the day as an ex-smoker. What does a quit date mean to your loved one? As a support person, if your loved one is talking about making an attempt to quit smoking, ask them an open-ended question about what they know about quit dates, as well as what they think about setting one. Ask your quitter if they believe it's beneficial to set a target quit date to work towards. Simply ask, what are your thoughts on setting a quit date? When it comes to the topic of a quit date, sometimes your definition of a quit date can be different from your loved one's. You'll need to work through the nuances in a conversation with your quitter. This is where it helps to have a heart-to-heart conversation in private to talk about any differences. If you're going to be a positive support person for your loved one, it's important to make sure you're on the same page regarding this topic. Here's a few of the more common ways your loved one may define a quit date. Number 1, first day to start cutting back or make changes to smoking habits and rituals. Your quitter may believe that the quit date is the first day they start cutting back or when they first start making behavior changes. Their quit date could be when they stop smoking with the morning cup of coffee, a ritual they've had for dozens of years. The quit date may be tied to any number of mini quits. Number 2, the day they start using quit smoking medications. Your quitter may also believe that the quit date is when they start using nicotine replacement therapy or another quit smoking medication. I'll talk about this definition of a quit date in more detail in the next section. Number 3, the day they stop using quit smoking medications. Your quitter may also believe their quit date is when they stop using nicotine replacement therapy or other quit smoking medications. When your quitter weans themselves off nicotine and stops using the nicotine patch, gum, or lozenge, that's their quit date. When they stop taking Chantix, that's their quit date. Some quitters view the quit date in this light. Number 4, when your quitter cuts out all the slips. Or maybe the quit date is a date in the distant future when your loved one stops experiencing the occasional slip. Slips are part of the quitting process, and when your quitter finds a way to stop the slips, that's considered their quit date. For the past 6 months, for example, they've bummed a cigarette off a friend at the bar. When that finally stops, your quitter now has their quit date. Quit dates and using nicotine replacement therapy. I've worked in the tobacco cessation industry for almost 10 years. In my role as a supervisor, I'd coach our tobacco cessation health coaches on how to collaborate with our participants on setting quit dates. The word participants is how we refer to quitters who enrolled in our phone-based coaching program to quit smoking. As I outlined earlier, the quit date is largely defined by the quitter. However, many of our clients offer nicotine replacement therapy, and our coaches would order NRT products for participants during coaching sessions. If a participant is interested in NRT, we'd collaborate with the quitter on the quit date being the first day they start using nicotine replacement therapy and work to go smoke-free. The conversation would go something like this: Joe, what are your thoughts on a quit date in terms of when you'd like to start the nicotine replacement therapy and work to go smoke-free? We'd consider their quit date as the first day the quitter starts using the nicotine replacement therapy and works to stop smoking. If Joe responds by saying, I'd like to start the patches right away, or "I want to quit as soon as possible," the coach would simply put a tentative quit date on the calendar for several days in the future and let them know the date that was selected. I'd emphasize to the coaches that they make sure the participant agrees with whatever date is chosen. Here's some additional scripting the coach could respond with. "Great, Joe, you're eager to quit. It's awesome that you're interested in using nicotine replacement therapy. That tells me you're very motivated to make this change. It takes 7 to 10 days to deliver the nicotine replacement therapy. Since you're looking to start the patches right away, I'll put you down for a tentative quit date of some date that's 7 to 10 days in the future. How does that sound to you?" Hopefully, this exchange will help shed some light on how you can converse with your quitter if they're planning to set a quit date and use nicotine replacement therapy. Can a quitter continue to smoke while using nicotine replacement therapy? One important caveat to address regarding NRT and quit dates is that your quitter might not immediately get to 0 cigarettes per day when they start using NRT. It's not mandatory that your loved one stop smoking completely when they start using nicotine replacement therapy. Your quitter can continue to smoke some while using nicotine replacement therapy. The Food and Drug Administration supports this position as well. I'll cover this topic in greater detail in a future podcast. Quit dates and Chantix. If your quitter is using Chantix to help them quit smoking, the conversation about quit dates will be a little different. When using Chantix, there's a few general recommendations from the manufacturer on how to set a quit date. Number 1, quit smoking after 1 week. Your quitter sets a quit date at the end of the first week. In following this schedule, your loved one takes Chantix for 7 consecutive days while still smoking. On day 8 is the quit date where your quitter goes completely smoke-free. In this scenario, your quitter takes Chantix for a total of 12 weeks and stops smoking after 1 week. Number 2, quit smoking after 1 month. Your quitter smokes while taking Chantix for 30 days. At the conclusion of the first month taking Chantix, your loved one sets a quit date. In this scenario, your quitter takes Chantix for a total of 12 weeks and stops smoking after 1 month. Number 3, quit smoking within 12 weeks. Your quitter takes Chantix for a total of 24 weeks with this approach. Your quitter gradually cuts down during the first 12 weeks on Chantix until they work up the courage to set a quit date. Your loved one goes to 0 cigarettes per day at 12 weeks. For the remaining 12 weeks using Chantix, your quitter doesn't smoke. What is Chantix? Let's take a quick detour to discuss Chantix. If you're unfamiliar with Chantix, let me give you a brief overview of what this quit smoking medication is and why it's helpful. Chantix is a Food and Drug Administration approved quit smoking medication that works to block the nicotine receptors in the brain. It currently has the highest success rate of any of the 7 FDA-approved quit smoking medications on the market. When your quitter smokes while taking Chantix, it helps reduce the pleasure to smoke. This can be very helpful if your quitter loves to smoke. Quitters using Chantix often report that cigarettes taste disgusting and they derive less and less satisfaction from smoking. If your quitter is interested in using Chantix to quit, they'll need a prescription from their doctor to access this medication. Your quitter can't walk into a pharmacy to pick it up without one. There's flexibility in setting a quit date while using Chantix. Is it an absolute requirement for your loved one to make day 8 or day 31 as their quit date when using Chantix? No. If your quitter decides to quit before or after day 8 is ultimately their decision. If they want to choose a different quit date, then go ahead and support them on the date they choose. If your quitter wants to work towards a meaningful quit date like a birthday, anniversary, or holiday, while in the middle of their Chantix schedule, that's great. Congratulate them on whatever date they choose, Again, the quit date ultimately is up to your quitter to pick. It's your job to support them on their decision. It's important that your quitter has as much time as possible completely smoke-free while using quit smoking medications. It's great that your quitter has reduced from 30 cigarettes per day, for example, down to 3 or 4 cigarettes per day while using the medication. Give them a pat on the back for their achievement. At the same time, it's important to have a target quit date in mind for your quitter to stop smoking completely. The reason for this is you don't want your quitter to stop the medication and then backslide. Those quit smoking medications are designed to help your quitter stop smoking, not just cut back. If your quitter reduces down to 1 cigarette per day, for example, and then stops taking the quit smoking medication they're using, there's a strong possibility they could regress. Your quitter doesn't want to erase all the great progress they've made. Without the help of the quit smoking medication, the urges and cravings to smoke may get stronger, especially if they're still smoking a small amount. That 1 cigarette per day can turn to 2, and then increase from there. I've seen this time and time again. That's why it's important that your quitter has time under their belt, completely smoke-free, before they discontinue use of the medication. You want to encourage your quitter to have as much time as possible without any cigarettes at all before stepping off their medication. Quit smoking medications can be pricey and aren't intended to be used indefinitely. The cost of the quit smoking medication is another reason why it's helpful for your quitter to have a target quit date where they stop smoking completely. Your quitter may benefit in having a target quit date where they aim to be completely smoke-free because they won't use these quit smoking medications forever. Again, it's great that your quitter has made this big reduction in their smoking, but it's important that they get to 0 and string together as many smoke-free days as possible, since they likely won't use the medication for the rest of their lives. Your loved one won't stay on NRT or Chantix forever. Generally, 12 weeks is what's clinically recommended when using nicotine replacement therapy. I discussed the NRT recommended schedule in another post. If your quitter decides to stay on NRT longer than 12 weeks, encourage them to speak with their doctor as well as their insurance company to see if they will help provide the medication for a lengthier period of time. Quit smoking medications aren't inexpensive. These quit smoking medications can be on the pricier side, and insurance companies and quit smoking programs such as 1-800-QUIT-NOW won't provide your quitter an unlimited supply. The cost factors into why your quitter will benefit to have time completely smoke-free under their belt while using the quit smoking medication. Is a quit date impacted by slips? If your quitter slips up or relapses, which is a normal part of the quitting process, do they want to reset their quit date to when they got back on track? Or does your quitter want to keep the quit date set on the original day they first got their quit started? Again, it's relative and up to your quitter. As a support person, make sure you're expressing positive support throughout your loved one's ups and downs. Work to reframe slips as learning experiences and not as failures. Ask your quitter open-ended questions to elicit their thoughts on the quit date and what the slip means to them. If they want to keep the quit date set to when they originally got started as an ex-smoker, let's stick with that. If they want to start over and pick a new quit date, that's fine too. Let your loved one drive the conversation about what the slip means, what can be learned from it, and how it factors into their quit date. The quit date is always flexible and is not written in stone. An important thing to keep in mind about the quit date through all of this is that you need to remain flexible. Simply explain to your loved one that the quit date is never etched in stone. The quit date is written in pencil and can be erased and updated to a new date at any point in time. Rigid thinking regarding the topic of the quit date won't help you in supporting your quitter. Quit dates and quit smoking text message programs. The flexibility of the quit date can also be important to loved ones who enroll in a quit smoking text message program, and their quit date is tied to the quit smoking information they receive via text. At the quit line I worked at, our participants were able to enroll in a text messaging program, and this program was very popular. The motivational and informational messages that participants received were tailored towards their specific quit date. If a participant wanted to update their quit date, we'd help them with that. Summary. It's important to clarify what the quit date means to your quitter. To best support your quitter, find an appropriate time and place to have the quit date conversation. Share with your loved one what you know about quit dates and the role they play in quitting smoking. Show off your knowledge in a supportive manner. Find out what your loved one knows about quit dates, and with their permission, fill in any gaps. Ultimately, it's your quitter's view of a quit date that will win out. Find out how helpful your quitter believes setting a quit date will be in their attempt to quit smoking. Get on the same page with your quitter so you can support them on a plan to move forward. Does your quitter have to set a quit date? No, it's not mandatory. What's important is that you work to understand what a quit date means to your loved one. Ensure that your view of a quit date is in sync with your loved one's definition so you can best support them as they move forward on their quitting journey. Here's a few sample questions to ask your quitter about their quit date. 1. How can I help you get prepared leading up to your quit date? 2. How can I best support you between now and your quit date? 3. What substitutes would you like me to purchase at the store prior to your quit date? 4. What are your thoughts on using nicotine replacement therapy and setting a quit date? 5. What are your thoughts on taking Chantix and setting a quit date? Now here's a few questions for you support people out there. What experience do you have talking with your loved one regarding setting quit dates? How does your loved one define a quit date? How helpful have setting quit dates been to your loved one trying to quit smoking?